Joining us to talk about the first month of the Trump presidency is Janet Biehoffer, a Republican National Committeewoman and a Trump supporter. Thanks so much for coming in.
Esme, I love being here, so thank you for asking me.
All right, absolutely. All right, critics say his first month has been chaos. He says it's a fine-tuned machine. Which is it, or is it somewhere in the middle?
I think it depends what you look at. One of the problems he's running up against is this is the slowest approval process for cabinet members in a very, very long time. So when you have your team ready to go and you have your cabinet members picked and then either they get slow rolled or something else happens, that affects the way you do business because you have to take care of those cabinet positions before you can start hiring downstream. So he's lost that. It actually is one of the slowest ever.
Well, but his labor secretary was forced to resign before he even was confirmed because of problems, both personal problems and his job record. And also the national security advisor was forced to resign for misleading the vice president. I mean, that's not Congress's fault.
Let's take them one at a time. The labor secretary, his ex-wife, had denied any of those accusations, so that's questionable. And is that a media blow-up or not? I don't know. And when we get to the national security advisor, General Kelly had two errors. One error and one other one, which I'll get to. But the first one was Flynn. Yeah. That's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right. The first one was, too, if he misled Vice President Pence, or if he forgot. And I don't know, because I don't have all the information, and I don't know how many of us can keep all those, what you can do and what you cannot do straight. But the second one is on the leaks. First of all, where did the leaks really come from?
Well, they had to come from the Trump administration.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily, because they're doing a lot of investigation now, and so far they're not finding any wrongdoing. And this is part of, Esme, what bothers us on our side of the aisle.
Reince Priebus said this morning on several news shows that, in fact, the vice president had been misled. I mean, he defended
I'm not denying that. Yeah. I mean, that one looks pretty much like a slam dunk.
Yeah.
The question is why? Was it forgetfulness? Was it intentional? Yeah. Was it something else? I don't know. Okay. But I will agree with that. But the other is questionable as to where they're coming from.
Where the leaks are coming from.
Yes.
And I know the president has expressed concern about that. What about other aspects of this presidency? The immigration rollout, extremely chaotic. A court ruled against him. A new one is coming out. Mm-hmm. What do you think will happen with that immigration ban, and do you think that he will be able to put out a new one that will be upheld by courts?
Well, again, there's multiple issues there. If you go through the Ninth Circuit, which is where those complaints were filed, along with the Attorney General from Minnesota, the Ninth Circuit has more cases overturned than any other circuit court. Okay, that's actually
the 11th and 6th Circuit actually have more cases. The Ninth Circuit, I believe, is third, with an 80% overturn rate.
That's pretty high. So I guess I wouldn't go to the 11th or 6th either. I think I'd avoid those if I could.
The 11th and 6th is higher.
Okay. But the issue is this. If you go back to our founding for the last 230, 40 years, we have imposed pauses in immigration off and on over those 200 plus years. This is a pause, and when we use the word ban, it says, okay, you can never come in again. That's not what we're saying. We're saying we want to get a handle on this because we really have not enforced our immigration laws for the last 20 to 30 years. So if you want to come to America, and it is the dream place to come still, and they're not going to enforce the laws, or your friends say, or your relatives say, come on over, it's okay. Are they being misled? I don't know. But we are paying for not enforcing the laws in the past. And if we just take Mexico alone, there is a wall between Guatemala and Mexico on Mexico's southern border, and they enforce that pretty quickly. So I think what President Trump is trying to do is, one, get a handle on our vetting process. And there's pros and cons on what we were doing and what we are doing. But I actually have immigrants in my college class. I asked them, I said, do you guys go through vetting? And they said, oh, yeah. And they cannot get all their family members over.
Well, it's an
extensive
so it goes on.
Process,
so but I know
that
is part of the debate. Well, listen, Janet Biehoffer, thank you so much for coming in. Certainly appreciate your input this morning.
Thank you very much, Esme.
Okay. All right, and is this the year